Today's guest reminds us that the best educators are often storytellers at heart. Sherelle Stafford is a teacher in Trinidad and Tobago, shaping young minds and bringing Caribbean history to life through fiction. Her debut novel, Lost in the Trinity Jungle, 1942, uncovers a forgotten chapter of World War II in Trinidad, where German U-boats hunted Caribbean waters and two young girls, Sally Roberts and Anita James, fought to survive in an unforgiving jungle. A proud graduate of St. Francois Girls College and the University of the Southern Caribbean, Sherelle combines more than 6 years of classroom experience with a passion for creative writing, history, and storytelling. She believes history isn't meant to be memorized, it's meant to be lived through story. Let's step into the story with educator and author Sherelle Stafford.
Good afternoon, Mr. George.
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Stafford. Before we begin, I'd just like to say thank you for inviting me so we could have the opportunity to have this conversation. And before we even go any further, I'd just like to say that in addition to it being an honor to be invited, I have to just commend you guys on the work that you all did on transforming this place to what I saw in the photo to what it is right now. I'm seeing structures of spiders. And after reading the book, I was expecting to see a tiger in the back, some manipus or something, just keeping in with the theme of the book. But I know that this book didn't happen overnight, that it was a process that you would have expended a lot of effort and time into. When I read your bio, I was wondering when it is that you got the time to do so, because I understood that when this book was coming together, you were also studying at the University of the Southern Caribbean. And the field that you're in, is it education right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, would you be able to say if it is at your lecturers, if it is at your teachers, if they were acquainted with you putting this book together, and if they were they supportive of this project?
All right. So this book actually was fully written in, I believe, the year 2017. I have some of my fellow USC alumni with me who also wrote books around our times with me. So we did a course for the literature for children, and the assignment was to write a children's book. Now, at the time, I wasn't into writing per se. I always loved the creative arts, right? But the course inspired me, and the task of writing the book, I took it on wholeheartedly, right? So I finished the book, completed it then, balancing other assignments, other courses. So the book wasn't in its best shape, but it was completed then as a part of the course due to the pressure of submitting it. But it was really from my heart, and I put my all into it then. And as we go along in the interview, we'll see how it has developed, I guess, and became what it is now.
Okay, it's good to know how it is that the thing started, because we could see the progression of the thing. Obviously, when it's coming together, one of the things that stand out of the book is that it's a historical novel based on history. The title of the book is Lost in the Trinity Jungle, 1942. Now, why did you choose that particular period of time to serve as a backdrop for this story being told? I mean, World War II, U-boats, soldiers, why?
I was always fascinated with history. I did it for CXC, and I actually wanted to become a history teacher. So my love for history, my love for nature, my love for natural environments and old-time things really inspired me to choose that specific period. Also, I really do love our historical sites here, like the forts and the Shagaramas Military Museum. Visiting that is a key memory to me. For instance, and I showed this preschool or primary school, I will never forget. That's my best outing I ever went on. And that stayed loved in my memory and in my mind. And I believe it all got down to that one experience there too, going to that museum. It really stuck with me. And that is where I would have gathered the inspiration to choose that specific time period and topic to base my book in.
You're a teacher right now, are you not?
Yes, I am.
But seeing that you yourself would have had the experience of visiting these historical sites when you were younger, are you attempting to recreate your experience with your own students, having them visit historical sites, so probably the same bolt of inspiration that struck you would also strike them?
I would absolutely love to. Implemented, I would love to, and I would really advocate for that.
You had mentioned some interesting sites that, some of us might be acquainted with. Stuff in Tucker Valley. In your book, I don't want to give too much details about the book. Have to be the book people. You just know what it is that we're talking about. At the same time, it's full on road too. You mentioned stuff like Tucker Valley. You mentioned military bases. Again, new votes. And I know that you're a history buff, that you like history. In terms of all of this research being done, you could tell us maybe some of the sources of information that you went to, whether it was textbooks, websites, maybe even talking to persons as well.
So I researched online. I looked at videos, and also a key part of it is during the university course, I visited my uncle who lived during World War II time, and he gave me his experience, his mother's experience. During that period, he said they heard explosions in the distance and the rationing cards and how everything was during that time. That his personal experience, not just the textbook information, but the real experience, like what it was like to live during that time period. And I remember being there, writing my notes and listening intently to hear how it was like for them. So that is what one of the sources would have been.
Okay, I like how you said that, because one of the things I like about your book is that it captures life at that particular period of time. Sally, the main protagonist of the book, she describes how it is that she had to walk to school for 3 miles on a daily basis. There was an instance where it is that, I don't think they had breakfast that morning, they were passing some cereals, and they gave them, the soda sponsored them something to eat as well, because if it is that we're not here at that particular, if we were there, I should say, during that particular time in history, we would not have known what it was like. But one of the things about your book that I like is that it gives us a glimpse of that particular time in history where these things happen.
Yeah.
As you continue with the book as well, one of the things that I think about the book, or rather about the war, is that it serves as a backdrop to the real story. The real meat and potatoes are the thing. Sally and Anita, and everything that happens in between. Let's talk about Sally a bit, because Sally is the main person in the book. In terms of doing research for Sally, you mentioned that, she was with her mother, 2 brothers. It's around World War II, where it is that they live along Mora Trace. Is Mora Trace marked on here?
Yeah, it's a real trace in Chaguaramas.
Up Chaguaramas. Okay, so you have real places in your real air fiction.
Yeah, real places.
I like that. How they're making it legit. You're making it legit. So Sally, how much of Sally is made up, and how much of Sally is legitimate?
Oh. That's a lovely question. For Sally, her character, I tried to embody myself a little in her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fiction, especially the assassination we have a little bit. I'm an only child. I don't have any siblings, but Sally has siblings. So, but something about Sally, I can see myself in. So it's kind of like I took inspiration from myself and from looking at others and others around me, how they operate, how they live, how they interact with their siblings, different things. And I developed her from that.
Okay, and Sally has a really interesting family dynamic, because she mentions her brothers who look out for her, some brothers she doesn't see eye to eye with, but at the same time they're a family. And she also mentions her mother, because the mother has a presence, the mother speaks with her a lot, but the mother at the same time, you don't hear much about her. Was that intentional?
Yes, it's very intentional. Because too, there is a part 2 to the book that will actually explore Sally's mother and that side. But in time to come, I will be writing and releasing. It's a sequel, you call it, like another house, a different part, post World War II, that explores Sally's mother. But yes, and she will be explored more in that one. So the way I wrote the book, not intentionally to do that, but I also wanted to keep a sense of mystery in it and focus more on the plot with Sally and what she's experiencing. But also, I want to further get into her mom and the family history on that side. in another part of this.
One of the things that I realize is consistent throughout the story is the theme of children and also of abandonment. Where Sally is concerned, she is with her mom and her brothers. Father isn't there. With Anita, we learned that it's a similar situation. It's her good friend, father isn't there. There are two other guys we encounter during the course of the book, David and
Johnny.
I want to sidestep this a bit, you know? One of the things I like about the book is that it always has this air of mystery about it. We have two characters who are introduced, and you're wondering, are they twins? Are they not twins? Let's just read more to find out exactly if it is that they are or if it is that they're not. But I know I'm spoiling something, but that was just near palace. But yeah, Sally and David and Johnny are introduced, and we realize that it's a similar situation with them, that they are also the results of abandonment as well. I mean, I don't know, is there like a reason why these children are experiencing this similar situation? Was this intentional? Is this just something we wanted to touch on? Was it just coincidence that, all of them just find themselves experiencing different types of abandonment in the book?
Being an educator, I am exposed to a lot of different social situations, family situations, and I would have created each individual background and story based on what I have seen from students and children that I know and their experience. And that is a topic that is very tender and dear to my heart, and very emotional, where children don't have one parent or they have lost both parents, and how are they surviving now from that? So I have drawn that from what I've seen around me, what I've seen working with, and brought it to highlight in the book. I wanted to highlight these situations and also highlight ways you could kind of like overcome, or like the good end after, or how God is good in spite of, right? But I really wanted to highlight those social issues in the book.
Okay. I like how you do that. Although even with a work of fiction, you draw upon elements of fact. So persons, when it is that they go in, if it is that you're not too acquainted with the topic, it's a nice introduction to the topic. You know that it exists, you know that it's out there, and you know that persons are experiencing it all the same. One of the other things about your book that I think is really interesting as well is that how it is that these persons deal with abandonment. Here it is that Johnny and David, they choose to run away. They live in the forest for a while. And as much as they identify that they may not have anybody to depend on, they depend on each other. Later on, when one of the brothers is taken, I mean, they could just decide to run away and not do anything. But one brother refuses to abandon the other.
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes really heavy after a while. Not heavy in the sense that, I could put the book down, but I had to just give it a rest, go outside, and then come back to continue. I mean, it's heavy writing for a non-fiction novel, It's heavy writing.
Yes.
I just want to step away from the contents of the book a little bit, because for the book to come together, different things had to come into play. You had to probably put together the script, the manuscript, have the artwork done, and decide on how it is that you're choosing to get the book published, whether it's through a publishing company or just do it on your own. You care to give any details about this?
Sure. Shout out to One Momentum Publishing. Shout out to Latoya Roberts. So has room, because you never know that after people may want to speak with you guys. All right. So One Momentum Publishing, I reached out to them to help me, because as a first-time author, I did not know anything about comedy. All right, and this is a story that I really wanted to publish and get out there. So I brought it to One Momentum Publishing, and they helped me with all the logistics and navigating, getting an editor for me, the lovely Latoya, who actually helped me transform this book to what it is today, because boy, oh boy, when I wrote the book first, I thought, yeah, this is the book, right? It's good and bad and rubber. And when Latoya read it, you as an editor, she really showed me the light. And she showed me areas in which I could have developed more different characters and whatever that needs a little more development. And I took the book and developed it. The story was maintained some essence from what it was originally, but the storyline changed a bit, but it got more dramatic. And I really love that. And I would say anybody who wishes to publish, get an editor, please. It's so important that you get an editor, because you may think you have the best story out there, and this time you need to tweak some things. Okay? But yeah, it's through the help of One Momentum Publishing. They walked me through getting it published on Amazon, and Latoya helped me with the editing and formatting of the book to make it what it is right now.
All right. So just in case anybody else, I've got One Momentum. You're hearing from yourself on the author has the finished product. Just throwing that out there. All right. So we get back into the book. Just not to know. One of the things that kind of stood out to me about the characters, as well as that, a lot of it is true to life, and that it's things a person's experience. Because of social media, bullying is highlighted now more than it was before. One of the title characters, well, not so much the title character, but one of the main characters, Anita, she starts up as the textbook bully. She's there, she's provoking Sally, they're getting into fights, they're getting suspended. But we told me that there's a lot more depth to Anita than was originally thought. Well, first off, one, was it's intentional, and two, and the working in the field that you're in, was your intent to just showcase some of the things that you experienced through some of your characters?
Yes, it was intentional. For character development, it was definitely intentional. To have that antagonist there in the book, so that others could relate to Sally's experience as well, and also for dramatic effect. And yes, being a teacher, being in the classroom, being in the school, bullying is something that you see and you have to deal with every single day, every hour of the day. All my teacher friends, I sure understand this, that every single hour of the day, miss, this one calling me this, miss, this one doing that, miss. It's always something along the lines of bullying. And it's a topic that children experience, children face, and it's something that I added into the book to deal with it and to show sometimes why is a bully a bully. Sometimes we need to go deeper beyond just what they are putting on, what is caused their actions, and see if you really I wonder if this person is troubled. I wonder what is really taking place with this person, that they can't just stop bullying people and they're so unhappy with their life that they have to trouble others. I wonder if it's something that is deeper, that needs to be addressed. So I wanted to address that also in the book.
Another one of my takeaways, and believe me, I had a lot of takeaways from the book, is that Anita, as much as she was a bully, she had a lot on her plate, in the sense where, when it is you go through the book, you find out the details as to why Anita is the way that she is. And when she gives the explanation, you realize, is this something, or rather some things, that a child this age should be carrying? This child should be thinking about pitching marbles, jumping, picking fruit from trees. In fact, their time in the jungle was more an experience in childhood, as opposed to be living on the outside and living life. And that was one of my takeaways. I thought it was a lot. For non-fiction book, this was a lot. One of my other takeaways is that eventually, when the truth is revealed, and I'm not going to spoil you guys, by the book of manipulation reviews, is that we realize that a lot of the things that the children themselves were experiencing, that they were enacting as a result of things that their parents had put unresolved. They can talk about this.
So, as an educator, there are situations I experience and see in the school, in the classroom, where decisions of parents impact children, impact the way they relate to others, impact the friendships that they have, impact how they act, and that really drew me to creating it. It really based on a true situation. It's really based on a true situation that I observed in the school setting, right? Adults, as I said, what I said earlier in the launch, adults lay the foundation for children. And no matter if it's something that they say, places they go, music they listen to, anything at all that adults do, children have to pay the consequences. Whether it's good things, children reap the benefits. If it's bad things, well, the negatives will definitely impact children. And one of the main things I wanted to draw from the book to adult readers, be careful. Be careful with your actions. Be careful with what children hear you say. Be careful with what you say in front of children. Be careful with all these things that can affect the way a child understands. And we know that children are young, they're very impressionable, and they also look to you as their superhero. So whatever you say, you do goes as, spectacular, and mommy is always right. So I need to make mommy proud. And if making mommy proud means I need to be this way to somebody, then they will be that way to somebody. And I want us to know that as adults, secrets that we have, we need to know if it really benefits children by keeping it in the dark, or if children can really heal and grow from an early age if we let the truth out early. Because sometimes our secrets can come back to haunt our children. And I wanted to really give a message to adults, because I've seen situations in the school where adults cause children to become very, mischievous to other children because of their situations that they have with other adults on the outside. So I really wanted to address that situation and to speak to adults.
One of my final takeaways about your book as well is forgiveness. Because before any kind of forward action can take place, forgiveness took place. And it's interesting how the forgiveness happened. The forgiveness started from the top with the adults, and then we had it happening with the children as well. So I think what it is that you were saying, it was so factual that the adults, they are really large room in how things take place with the children. I mean, we could go on and on with the takeaways that I got from the book. I mean, sure, it's a book of fiction, historical fiction, but I had so many takeaways from it, and I think it's a really good reading. But I don't want to go on and on. I just want to touch a little bit on advice that you could give, because so far you had mentioned in terms of the steps that you would have taken to publishing, editing, etc. But having gone through the process yourself, from a manuscript to editing, publishing, etc., and now we're here at your book launch here at the Bagatelle Regional Community Center, what advice you would want to give to persons who may want to do their own books? Maybe some of your colleagues who are in the Qualcomm USC who have their own manuscripts that are set aside. What advice you would want to give to them?
Do it scared. I want you to do it. Just do it, right? Just do it. Just put aside the negative thoughts that nobody will read this. There are so many negative thoughts that can come in your mind to discourage you from actually saying, I want to publish a book and I'm going to publish it. My advice is to step out. Put at least one toe, your little big toe, forward, okay? And make little steps towards it. If it's right now you have the manuscript, you can just go through it again, peruse it, look through it, see what you would like to change even before an editor takes it, and just get excited about what you have written. Right? Get excited about it. Let it be so joyous to you that you just want to feel that joy on others. But do it. Don't be afraid to just step forward. There are one momentum. I think you all have a workshop, a writer's workshop, right? So you can also attend a writer's workshop and get the advice to help with writer's block. Just get a professional to talk you through what you need to talk through to get you in the mindset to write and to continue writing and to go all the way through. I believe once you step forward and you start the slightest amount in the process, you will have the motivation to just keep continuing. Writer's block can make you a little, pull back a little bit, but it's not the end. You can get the help as well, speak to people who can help you through research and continue to push through, even if it takes 5 years, 6 years. I wrote this book in 2017, and now we are in 2026. So it was sitting there taking cobweb and dust for a little while, until I actually decided, I really want to publish this book. So don't just throw it aside and think that you can never. And those who have not written anything as yet, but you want to write, start. Just start. All this editing, punctuation, grammar, anything, you can bring that after, but just start to put ink to paper or type, right, on the keyboard, and just start.
Okay, Ms. Stafford, I have to commend you for being a writer, this being your first book. And you mentioned that you have another one in the works as well. You for being an author of Caribbean heritage and for putting together a work, even though it is a book that is of fiction, it is grounded in so much fact. So I think those are all the questions that I have for you at this point in time. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you for the opportunity for me to read your book and to be able to get so much out of it. And I really hope that the sales, not just the sales, but the persons who get back to you in terms of what is read or what they got out of it, that they could identify even more things than what I got out of it. So that this would encourage you to write even more, to use the experiences that you have gained as a student, as a teacher, to help encourage, to help educate those around you.
Sherelle's Lost in the Trinity Jungle, 1942, is more than a debut novel. Told mainly through the eyes of children, it reminds us of part of our Caribbean history often overlooked. Drawing on her experience as a teacher and her love of history, she shines a light on stories and experiences that resonate deeply with Caribbean people today. Through her education and work, Sherelle demonstrates that history lives through storytelling, not silence. To all listeners, educators, and young readers, find Lost in the Trinity Jungle, 1942 on Amazon and connect with Sherelle in the notes provided. Thank you for reminding us that teachers can be storytellers, that creativity can thrive alongside responsibility, and that Caribbean voices continue to shape history. We look forward to your next chapter.